Palestine is in 3 days of mourning, according to President Abbas of the Palestinian Authority, the PA. So let me take you back to what happened. They were doing a tree planting ceremony. They were going to go into areas that are occupied that Israel is deciding to use for its own purposes, to put residences or whatever they want there. The land is very disputed there. They're fighting over it. And so the Palestinians and whoever's with them, family, friends, international support, they were doing the ceremony, apparently. I don't know if they intended any confrontation, they premeditated it. But what happened was the Israeli soldiers were on the site. Now, I don't know how they got there, whether they're always there, or whether it was part of the patrol. But basically a confrontation happened. So you have this totally full military armed group coming into conflict with these people who were unarmed, and they're planting trees. It's a political demonstration, yeah, but at the same time you got to see planting trees. I'm really big on trees, so if you're planting trees, you're already getting on my good side, and that's an advantage. But let's take it further. Let's examine all of this, okay? And I know over there I'm very not satisfied. I'm not pleased. I'm displeased that they've cut down so many trees over there. Like, you need to take this serious, because it's got to stop. It's a major problem. They're cutting down 1,000-year-old trees. These are beautiful natural resources. They're not replaceable. There is no technology, and there probably never will be any technology to grow a tree that fast. And a 1,000-year-old tree takes 1,000 years to produce. So if you're willing to put that seed in and then wait 1,000 years, you can have a 1,000-year-old tree. But otherwise, keep your fucking hands off the 1,000-year-old trees. Now, they're planting the trees because that's how long it takes to replace all this stuff. And the Israeli soldiers come along. Now, I don't know what particulars or what was said to start this confrontation. Sometimes it doesn't start that much, so everybody's in your face, and they do that a lot in this day and age, especially in the Middle East, right? They just have a way of talking, and you have to get used to that. There's different gestures, and you gotta feel that vibe. So this thing was going on, and there was assault from the soldiers, one or two of them in particular. Immediately after this, tear gas went off, or a canister dropped, or someone did it, but everyone didn't scatter. From the footage that I analyzed, there was something, little smoke and a sound that happened, and in the midst of everybody arguing, so this individual who gets assaulted by the soldiers, he's enraged, you can tell. He's in his 50s. I think I read that he's 55, and by the way, he's the deceased now. In the past 24 hours, he's deceased. So, at the scene of this confrontation, this incident, I see him, and I could tell you that he's reached his limit. His temper is really, something is bothering him. Either what's being said, or the fact that soldiers are coming in and disrupting or trying to end the ceremony. Something about it. I need some more translation on the footage, and I'm researching it right now. It's too soon to tell, but obviously, logically, there's something, because he's going off. So he's actually hurting himself, because you could see visibly, if you're any medical awareness, His blood pressure is skyrocketing. He's expressing himself very loud and angry. So he's already putting himself in a difficult situation there. And then he's being attacked. So there's a strike or a blow to the chest, to the neck. Next thing you know, there's this other footage, maybe from different cameras. I don't know who filmed what. I'd have to analyze it, use some forensics or something. A moments later, logical sequence, you see him, he's on the ground. There's an Israeli doctor or pathologist or somebody who's assisting him, and then there's one or two other people. One guy I see filming, so there's someone filming and someone, that film is capturing somebody else filming. And someone's bringing him something. I couldn't tell what it is. I haven't looked carefully enough. It looked like it might be a thing with Tic Tacs or Tums or so. I don't even know what it was, or whether it was some medicine. Next thing you know, he's taken away to the hospital. Seems like he was alive but in pain when they took him, and then somehow en route to the hospital, or at the hospital, he dies. He's pronounced dead. So, having described all this, you know, you can watch the footage on your own if you're very curious, or you just listen to what I have to say about it, which I don't always recommend. If you have time, you've got to look at it from all angles. My assessment is that the guy was putting himself out there too much, just flaring out. I mean, perhaps he had a right to get angry. Like I said, I don't know all the specifics. And again, about the trees, I would be there defending a tree planting. So I'm going to lean on the side of saying that the soldiers were in the wrong and that they were being excessive. And typically, you know, in the ideal, spiritually, I want peace in the region and peace in the world and peace for Israel, peace amongst religions and people of different background, but we all have to agree to something. And if that's peace, we have to first or continuously agree what's the process going to be. Not the peace process, that fake terminology, but I'm just saying the step-by-step, what are we going to do, what are we going to cooperate on to create this sense of harmony and love amongst all of humanity. So typically I believe in that, but when you see stuff like this, you realize this is escalation. This creates more tension, more conflict, and not a solution. This is more of the problem. Now, 3 days of mourning, and we're going into now, tomorrow will be the second day. Actually, it's going to be mourning over there as I'm making this. And so people are going to be deciding like how they're going to handle this. The guy is going to be buried. It's going to be a funeral. Now I want to give you some background since you waited so long. Here's the research. Here's what's going on. Just see with my webcam here, we have some of the videos that have come in. I did the search. This is all this week. Then there's the videos if you want to see it. This is where he's laying down. Here's before he gets attacked. He is disagreeing with the Israeli soldiers. Here's another one. You can see the olive branches, and that's very symbolic. These are olive trees. I also have planted olive trees, so this is very symbolic. Here is the news feed, the aggregator, Yahoo, and it's one of the top stories. This took place in Turmusaya in the Palestinian territory, and that's in the West Bank. Here's the article that Yahoo was sharing. AFP, they're distributing. Here's another photo. You can see that's maybe a still shot from the video footage that's on YouTube. So here is the name Ziad Abu Ain. Okay, he's a deputy minister, and he's also a senior member of the Palestinian Authority. Now, I did background research on his name, Abu Ain. I think that's the last name, I'm not sure, but Ziad is the first name. I came up with this in particular. Here's a picture of him several years ago. Oh no, I'm sorry, this is July 4th, 2014. This is just before the war started against Gaza. Operation Protective Edge, that's what the Israelis call it. So Ramallah ruling Fatah movement, weeks after formed Palestinian Authority government with Hamas, has called for revolt against Israel. So here he's pictured, and the calls have been echoed by senior members of the PA, including the Deputy Minister Ziad Abu Ain. He says there is nothing sacred of the occupation, its settlers, and their security. Okay, he says, quoted from July 2nd. So more research has shown that he has called for violent resistance, effective physical resistance. And what I found on the site IMRA is Independent Media Review Analysis. This is an Israeli site. Now, I don't know how independent they are, but it's called Independent Media Review Analysis. They claim that this was posted, and I have no verification when this was actually posted. I don't have any dates of it. But anyhow, why did I do this? Okay. But it says November 28th, 2011. They're saying the minister credits Oslo for facilitating violent resistance. Who is Ziad Abu Ain? Okay. He was arrested in the U.S. in the 1970s. Actually, I found out in particular that was 1979. I'm sorry, 1981 for a 1979 crime. He's wanted for planting a bomb. He wasn't planting an olive tree then. He was planting a bomb in Tiberias. That's in the Galilee. And it killed 2 boys. Ramsey Clark tried to block the extradition and failed. Here is the source. Maybe I should look that up too. Let me go to that. Law.justia. Okay, let's go back here. So here it is. He's the petitioner appellant versus the United States Marshal who's doing the extradition. Here's his summary. Abu Ain is accused by the State of Israel of setting a bomb on May 14, 1979. Exploded during the afternoon in the market area. I've been there. I know what that's like. I know the area. That's where they do the shuk. They sell a lot of things. It's an open market. Actually, it's not totally open, but it's totally public, and it is a very busy area. Killing 2 young boys and maiming, otherwise injuring more than 30 other people. So Israel did seek his extradition. They got him, and what happened was he was put in jail. Yeah, here's the on Justia. So this looks like this is an actual record of the case, of the extradition case. So basically, it looks like he was released several years later in 1985 as a prisoner exchange. Okay, prisoner exchange. And since then, he's been working for the Palestinian Authority. Okay, until the last 24 hours. He has now become deceased. So, that is the extent of my research today on the subject and what a tangled web it is of frustrating experiences for both sides. And I'm going to put in a prayer, and I hope everything gets worked out, but it's going to take time, it's going to take a lot of effort, and it's going to take people awakening to what they have to do in the right way. Be righteous. So I'm going to pray for this, but I'm also going to tell you what you're going to have to do step by step, and you're not doing it. I was over in Israel. I was there for the entire extent of the war, so I know what's going on, and I've been studying the governments of both sides. I've been studying the international geopolitical situation. I've been to the United Nations. I've been to Washington, D.C. I've been looking into all of this, and somebody has to guide you people through your stupid gauntlet. Sorry to say, but one thing I have to tell you up front is you're stupid. None of you are doing the right thing by being on your separate sides. I don't take a side. I'm almost like a referee, but beyond that. So I'm going to listen to both sides, and then I'm going to tell you what's what. Right here I've given you some of the details about the current event that's happening, and peace be upon whoever is suffering on any side, any age. They have to pay the karma. Condolences to the family and the friends and the loved ones, and to those that are yet to be affected by all of this. We're all getting drawn into this, and that's the truth. So I hope if you've listened this long, that it's wakened some of you up, or it's educated you, illuminated you onto the truth and what you have to do, what part you have to play. Because I need help with your support.